in marketing, right? A brand. What is brand? Brand name, trademark. You might have heard these terms very frequently, right? Brand. A crucial step in branding strategy is deciding on the specific brand name for the product that is being introduced, right? It is very important that it is a crucial strategy that you should decide a specific brand name for the product that you are introducing, right? uh, why it is required, why brand name is required. Before we start with the brand name, first of all, understand what is brand. A brand is a word or a mark or a symbol or a device or a combination thereof used to identify some product or services. The definition clearly focuses on the functions of brand, that is to identify irrespective of specific means employed for the identification. See, what is brand? What is brand? A brand is a word, right? It could be brand could be a word. A brand could be a symbol. A brand could be a mark or a device or a combination of any. Why it is required? It is used, the combinations of mark, symbol, devices, or separately the use of word, mark, symbol, or devices to identify some product or services. How will you identify product or services? We identify the product or services through word, through mark, through symbol, through device, or a combinations, right? Right, so that is a brand. What is brand name? The American Management Association defines it. Brand name is a part of a brand consisting of word, letter, group of words or letters comprising a name which is intended to identify the good or services of a seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from those of the competitors. So brand name is what? Brand name is what? Brand name is nothing but words, letters, symbols, right? Symbols, devices, or combination of words or letters, right? That is intended, which is intended to identify the goods and services. Why these are required? To identify the goods and the services of a seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from their competitors. Why brand name is required? That is to identify the product of a seller or a group of sellers from group of sellers and to differentiate it from other sellers or from the competitors. That is the brand name. Brand mark is a symbol used for the purpose of the identification. It can be a mark, it can be a design, it could be a logo, a type of coloring scheme, a picture, etc. Right? In other words, it is not a name but means of identification, right? So a brand mark is what? Brand mark is nothing but the symbols used for the purpose of identification. Brand name, brand mark. The purpose of brand is brand name, brand mark is to identify the product and differentiate the one seller's product from the competitor's product, right? This brand mark could be a design, it could be a logo, it could be a coloring scheme, it could be a picture or anything else, right? That is known as a brand mark, right? Branding decisions, brand. So you might have seen the various brand marks or brand marks LG. You if you remember the logo of LG, right? Or Samsung or Apple, that Apple, it an apple, that is a symbol or a logo of Apple company, right? Whenever we see that it an apple, that apple comes in our mind that this product is of Apple's company, right? Right? So This is a brand mark. Branding decision whether to brand a product or not is a decision which can be taken only after considering the nature of product, the type of outlet, the perceived advantage of branding, and the estimated cost developing the brand. See, developing a brand is a costly affair. It requires money, it requires efforts, it requires time. The efforts time includes money. Money is associated with efforts time, right? And as such, money is required to create a brand. To create a brand, you have to advertise your product. The advertisement plays an important role in branding, right? So whether to brand a product or not, this decision is very crucial decision, right? And this decision is based on many factors, like the nature of the product. What is the nature of the product, right? What is the prestige, what is the perceived advantage of branding, what we will get if we brand that product, right? And the estimated cost developing the brands, right? The cost involved in developing a brand. The question of sponsorship of brands refer basically to a decision as to whether it should be a manufacturer's brand, or a national brand, or a private brand, or a middleman brand, right? A brand could be of the manufacturer's brand, it could be of a middleman's brand, right? So you have to decide under which brand name you want to sell your product, right? At the name of the manufacturer, or at the name of the middleman's, right? Or the private, or whether you want to uh, give your product, brand your product, or it could be a it can it be a private brand or a middleman's brand. So branding decisions depends on many factors. First of all, I hope this is clear. What is brand, what is brand name, what is brand? Brand is nothing but the letters, words, or a group of a letter, words, coloring scheme, logos, right, which are used to identify the product and differentiate the one's product from the competitor's product, right? Branding decision is based on many factors. That is, it depends on the cost factor. No doubt that the estimated cost is, it depends on the cost. Then the perceived advantage of the branding, what we'll get from that branding, right? And the type of the depends on the type of outlet which offers that type of that product, and nature of the product, right? Or then again, it that when you are deciding about the brand, you have to decide whether you want to offer your product on the under the manufacturer's brand, or the national brand, uh, the brand could be the private brand or the middleman brand. Quality and other attributes to be built into the product is important aspects when you want to brand your product. The metrics of such attributes will decide the product positioning, right? The product quality of the product plays an important role in the branding, right? It plays a quality plays an important attribute to build the product brand of the product, and the metrics of these attributes decide the product positioning, where you want to position your product, right? The marketer has the option to position his product at any segment of the market, top, bottom, or an intermediate segment, right? So it depends where you want to place your product. It depends on the quality, it depends on the price, and many other attributes. And these attributes plays an important role, and a marketer has to decide whether they want to where they want to position their product, at the top of the market, at the bottom, or at intermediate level. The marketer also has to decide the outset whether he would like to adopt a family brand under which all products of the company would be sold, or he would like to brand each product separately, right? So it totally depends whether marketer has to decide whether he wants to create a family brand, under which family brand means under which the whole product of the company has been would be sold, or they want to create a brand for each product separately. Maggie is a brand. Maggie is a product of which company? If you remember, it's a product of a Nestle company. Nestle even offers coffee, but they create a Maggie as a brand, right? So they branded the Maggie as a they branded the product Maggie product separately, right? Rather, whenever we want to have noodles, rather than saying that we I would like to have noodles, we say I want to eat Maggie. No one, hardly anyone remembers the brand, the company of that um, product, right? Maggie is a brand in itself. So marketer has to decide whether they want to create a family brand means under which all the products of the company would be sold, or he would like to create a brand of each product separately, right? What are the advantages in either approach, that is the family brand or the separate brand? Family brand, one basic advantage of using a family brand is to reduce the cost of the product launching and ongoing promotional expenditure substantially. That is the basic advantage of family brand, is that it reduces the cost of the product launching and ongoing promotional expenditure, because you are selling your products under one brand. So it reduces the cost of the product launch, right, and ongoing promotional expenditure substantially. The firm has to promote only one brand, which if successful would be able to sell the entire product line, right? If you are able to you have to if you are you have to prefer you have to promote only one brand. If that brand is successful, you would be able to sell the entire product line. If one product does exceptionally well, it is perfectly possible that there would be positive fallout for the other products being marketed under the same brand. It is, however, necessary to be cautious in following this strategy. It will be very ill-advised strategy if product being offered are of highly uneven quality. It may not be a good strategy if the markets are quite dissimilar in terms of consumer profile. See, under family brand, right? Family brand could be cost advantageous, right? It could be the year cost could substantially go down, right? It could be cost effective. The second point is, you have to brand only one of your products, and if that product do well in the market, then you can successfully sell the entire product line under that brand, right? And if product does exceptionally well, right, then it is possible that there would be a positive fallout for the product being marketed under the same brand. But again, there are certain disadvantages or the weakness of this, right? If your product is of different quality, right, then this brand, one should not up this brand. It could be an ill-advised strategy, right? If your the product the quality of your products are highly uneven, right, it may not be a good strategy. And secondly, if one should consider the market, that is the consumer's profile. If the consumer's profile is dissimilar, then this could be a bad strategy. The greater weakness of this strategy is that it does not recognize that each product can be given a specific identity by suitable brand, which can go a long way to make it successful, right? If you brand each and every product, right, that if you give the identity to a specific identity to each and every product by substantial branding, it will go a long way to make it successful, right? Maggie, as I have given you the example of Maggie, right? Then the individual brand. right? Individual brand, the consumer researchers have irrefutably established that the name can have varied association with diverse images. These psychological factor can immensely influence the buying decisions. Individual brand strategy is in position to take care of this aspect of the marketing. See, we discussed about the various factors, factors of in consumer behaviors, right? The factors which impacts the decision of the consumers, right? So there are various factors which influences the buying decisions of the consumer, and this individual brand strategy is in position to take care of the aspects of this factor, right? The psychological factor and the other factors of the consumer behavior, right? Uh, if there is a product failure, its damaging effect will be limited to that particular product and will not extend it to the entire product line, obviously, right? If you are branding each and every product differently, suppose if any product fails, if फिर से थम्स अप करना। शुरू से अच्छा, जहाँ से रुका है ना। हम्म। So, family brand, we discussed about the family brand. Family brand is that brand under one brand when marketer decide to sell off the entire product line. That is the family brand, right? Family brand could be cost effective, but there are certain disadvantages of family brand, right? A family brand is like if your products are quite dissimilar, right? That is when the quality of the product is uneven, then it could have a damaging effect, right? And next important point is then one should not consider this strategy, that family brand strategy. And it is important to consider the consumer profile. If your consumer profile is dissimilar, that you should not go with this strategy, right? And important, the greater weakness of this family brand strategy is that each product, if you give each product a different brand or a different recognition, right, then it will go a long way to make it successful rather than the family brand. Individual brands, now we'll discuss about the individual brands, right? Individual brands plays an important role, right? That there are various psychological conditions or the psychological factors which impacts the consumer decision, buying decisions, right? And this individual branding or the brand strategy is in position to take care of those aspects of the marketing. If there is a product failure, its damaging effect will be limited to that product only, and will not extend to the entire product line. Right? When you are branding each and every product differently, and one product is not able to do well in the market, then the damaging effect will be limited to that product only. It will not impact the whole product line. Right? And the basic disadvantage lies in the economies of developing an individual brand, right? It is obviously costlier strategy than the other. When you want to create a different brand for the product, then more cost will occur, right? So disadvantage is it is costlier, it could be a costlier affair. Other disadvantage is that brand does not directly derive any benefit from the reputation of the firm, right? Brand repositioning. It is very important to reposition the brand over the life cycle of the product. Several market parameters might undergo a change, such as introduction of a competing product, shifts in consumer preferences, identification of new needs, etc. All and each of such changes call for a relook as to whether the original positioning of product is still optimal or not. And stagnating or declining sales also points the need of a reassessment of original product positioning. See, brand repositioning as the name indicate, we are again positioning our brand, right? We have created a brand for the product or for the entire product line. We have created a brand, that depends whether it's a family brand or an individual brand. We have created a brand, right? But over a product life cycle, there is a life cycle of a product, that is there are the we all know that there are the four phases of the product life cycle. That is the initiation or the introduction, then it goes to the growth phase, then it goes to the peak phase, and then the declining phase, right? In each and every phase there are the different market parameters, right? The different market parameters might undergo a change, right? Like suppose introduction of a new competitor has come up in the market, right? Now it is very important to see whether you want to reposition your brand or not, right? Right, or it could be there could be shift in the consumer preferences. As we know that market is a dynamic market, and the needs and want of the consumer changes frequently. If there is a shift in the needs or the preferences of the consumer, then again it is very important to take care whether to brand your product again or not, right? Or the identification of new needs. If you have identified a new need, then it is important to brand your product according to new needs, so that you can gain more base, right? So it is very important that one should take care of the market parameters, and all such parameters or changes call for relook as to whether the original positioning of the product is optimal or not, whether yet after, even after all these changing with that is, if there is a new competitor has been introduced in the market with the or if there is a shift in consumer preferences, or the taste, or the identification of the new needs and various other parameters, even after changes in these repositioning. See, it is very important to reposition your brand. It is very important to look into the matter whether your brand needs a repositioning or not. Right? Positioning is where you want to stand, where you want that your product should stand in the market. That is the positioning. And repositioning is whether you are satisfied with the position of your product in the brand, or whether you should want that the position should change. Right? Brand repositioning is a see over the product life cycle. When there is a change in the product life cycle, there are other parameters like introduction of a new competitors, or shifts in the consumer preferences or taste, and identification of new needs. All these are the parameters which tells us whether it is required to reposition our brand or not. Right? All and each of such changes call for a relook at whether the original positioning of the product is still optimal or not, whether our product is doing well, or we need to change the position of our product. That is stagnation or a decline in the sales also points to need for the reassessment of the original product positioning. If there is a decline in the sales, then it requires that we should brand our product, that we should reposition the brand of the product. Right? How could we reposition the brand of the product? Right? That is through advertisement. Integrated marketing communication plays an important role in brand creation and repositioning of the brands. So repositioning of the brand is important, and various factors plays an important role to take the decision whether to reposition the brand or not. What are the advantages and the disadvantages of branding? There are certain advantages and disadvantages of each and everything, and branding also have certain advantages and disadvantages. Right? Branding, buyers, from the buyers can derive several advantages. That is, the brand generally denotes uniform quality. Right? Because when we discussed about the brand, when we should create a brand for the product, the quality and the other factors like price also plays an important role, but the quality is one of the important parameter which plays an important role in branding. When we call that this is a brand, this assures the buyer that the quality of product must be very good. So they are generally denotes the uniform quality or the good quality of the product. Right? It makes the shopping easier. Brands make the shopping easier when I know that the quality of the product is good. Right? What if and then the price is another factor which also plays an important role. But when the brand is good, when the quality is good, at times the customer compromises on the price. They are ready to pay the higher prices also, but the quality is the one of the important factor. So it makes the shopping easier for the consumer, because they know what product, which brand's product they want to acquire. Competition among the brands can over a period of time leads to quality improvement. Competition among the brands plays an important role, and it can lead to the quality improvement. If you want to survive in the market, if you want that your brand should hold a good position in the market, then every company tries to improve the quality of the product. And when the quality of the product increases, right, it plays an important role, and it gives a immense satisfaction to the buyers. Right? And purchasing a socially visible brand can give a psychological satisfaction to the buyer. That is, it creates a status. That brand is somehow associated with the status. Right? This gives us psychological satisfaction. When we purchase some product, some branded product, it gives a buyer a psychological satisfaction. There are certain negative aspects too. Right? Like brand development needs cost. Right? It is associated with cost, money, product prices tends to go up. Right? Obviously we have to pay more for the branded product rather than those products which are not so branded, right? So the cost might go up for the product, right? Because brand is associated with cost, company is spending, right? Now they want to earn now they want it from the buyers, so buyers have, at times buyer has to pay more. Taking advantage of popularity of brand, the manufacturer may reduce the quality generally. See, we discussed in the advantage that the competition might lead to increase in the quality of the product. But if you are a well-known brand, if it is a reputed brand and that brand is doing well in the market, there are the chances that the quality of the product might go down. That company or the organization could compromise on the quality of the product. There are the chances, right? From seller's point of view, there are certain advantage of the brand for the sellers, like it helps in product identification, right? Sellers, what is a brand? Brand is, as I told you at the beginning of the lecture, brand is nothing but a letter, a word, a symbol, or a picture, or a combination thereof, which is required for the identification of the product. That is a brand. So brand helps in the product identification. It helps in the identification of the product. So for seller it becomes easier that their product is identified in the market by the consumer. In the highly competitive market, it can carve out a niche for itself through product differentiation, right? We can see, where the market is highly competitive, there are many competitors for the who are offering the same type of the product, right? Then the brand carve out a niche for the product with differentiation of the product. Brand, what we do in the brand, that brand identifies the product as well as it it distinguish its product from the competitor's product. These are the two factors of branding, right? So the seller, the first advantage is that it identifies the product. Second factor, in highly competitive market, that it carves out a niche for itself. That brand carves out the niche for itself. How it carves out the niche for itself? Through product differentiation, that when through branding, when company tells how their product is different from their competitor's product, or how it is better from the competitor's product. So in this way it carves out, brand carves out a niche for itself. If brand loyalty can be developed through successful promotion, the firm will be able to exert quasi monopolistic power. But to obtain the advantage, it is necessary for manufacturer to invest resource in promoting the brand name. See, promotion plays an important role in creation of brand, right? You create the brand through promotion, and promotion plays an important role through successful promotion. That if you are able to create a brand, right, it can give a power to seller, right? But to obtain this monopolistic power, to obtain this advantage, it is very important, or it is very necessary for the manufacturer to invest in the resources in promoting the brand. That you have to invest in promotions. Promotion, the branding name, the promotion, we have discussed about the promotion in our previous lecture, and then again we will discuss about the promotion. There are various techniques of the promotions, right? Nowadays it is known as integrated marketing communication. It could be through advertisements, it could be through billboards or hoardings, or it could be through personal selling, or there are many other promotional techniques which company could adopt. It depends on the product, right? What type of product you are offering and what type of promotion is best suited for that product, but promotion plays an important role. Company has to pay, or company has to invest in the promotion if they want to create a brand. Then the societal view. From a macro standpoint, a brand's role in improving and maintaining a product quality could be considered as positive. Brands also help in better dissemination of product knowledge. Better knowledge can contribute to more scientific and rational decision making. And many critics feel that the branding often leads to higher cost and thereof the prices. It can also allow manufacturer to get higher returns than the normal through excessive or strong loyalty. See, we have discussed the advantages and disadvantages through seller's point of view, through buyer's point of view, through societal point of view. That brands, the advantage is that brands helps in that brands helps the society by improving the quality of the product. It contributes to society, and brand also helps to by providing a better knowledge to the company, to the society. How your brand is different from others brand, how what makes your brand different from this, what are the what factor one must consider while purchasing a product, right? So this brand provides a knowledge to the society, as well as this knowledge contributes to the scientific and the rational decision making, right? So it contributes to the society in the positive way, that brands creates an awareness and provides a knowledge to the society. But critics criticize it in a way that when you create a brand, you have to invest in the promotion. Promotion plays an important role, and promotion is a costly affair. One has to invest. Now when company is investing it, they want return on that investment. So this brand could increase the price of the product, right? So it can lead to the higher cost of the product, and then the buyer has to pay more, right? Then it allows the manufacturer to get higher returns than the normal returns through excessive strong brand loyalty. If once you have created a brand, and people are loyal to you, and people become brand loyal, then company can increase the price, and they can get more higher returns than the normal through excessive pricing or through excessive strong brand loyalty, right? Selecting a brand name, how will you select a brand name? How company should select, how a marketer should select a brand name? You cannot select any brand name like this. There should be a logic behind it. How can you select a brand name, right? Finding an appropriate name for a product is a tricky job, right? Why it is a tricky job? The first, the name should be one which satisfy the several marketing criteria, and secondly, the name should be one which is already being used by, which is not already being used by the another firm. See, if you use any brand name which has been already used by the, or which other firm is using, then it can lead to an legal problems, right? So one must consider that one should choose a brand name which is not used by, or which has not been used by any other company. And the another criteria is, there are various several marketing criteria which should be satisfied while you are selecting a brand name. Marketing criteria, the first thing is, what all marketing criteria should be satisfied when you are choosing a brand name? The brand name should reflect directly or indirectly some aspect of the product, that is the benefits of the product or the functions of the product, right? Like Fair and Lovely, right? This shows, this directly or indirectly shows or reflects the aspects of the product. Fair and Lovely, Fair and Lovely is a fairness cream, right? It changes the tinge of your screen, right? So it should directly or indirectly show the some aspects of the product, the benefits or the function of the product. Like Pearl Pet, Pearl is the name of the company, and pet means that it is made up of plastic or the polythenes, right? A brand should be distinctive, especially if product requires such distinction, right? It should be distinctive, that one should make it distinction. How if requires the distinction, a brand name should be easy to pronounce and remember. The brand name should not be difficult, so that no one should be able to pronounce it. It should be easy to pronounce and remember. Everyone should be able to remember it. If your brand name is like it is easy to remember, then everyone will ask for that thing, right? Like Colgate. It's a brand. Even now, people, if when they want to, when they go to the shop and rather than asking for a toothpaste, they ask a Colgate dina. Give me a Colgate. Colgate is a brand, right? And now it is easier. Your name should be that the brand name should be easy to remember, easy to pronounce. So brand plays an important role, right? Packaging. Packaging is what? Packaging is art and science and technology of preparing goods for transport and sale. Packaging is what? Packaging is what? You're preparing the goods for transport and sale. This definition brings out the two salient feature or the two salient aspect of packaging. First is it has to help in physical handling, storing, and transportation and sales of the product. That is, it is what is packaging. Packaging is something that helps to preparing the goods for transport and the sales, right? And it helps in physical handling, right, storing of the product and the transportation of the product and the sales of the products. Packaging as a function consists of two distinct elements. The positive aspect, which is science and technology related to package design, selection of packaging material, etc. It plays a very important role, that what should be the design of the packaging, what material should be used for packaging for the product, right? What type of packaging is required for the product, and the behavior aspect. That is, there are the two distinct elements: the science and technology aspect, what material is required or what design is required for that product. Behavior aspects, the art of product design, which is associated with consumer motivation research or buying research, right? So art design, which is this art, this behavior aspect is associated with consumer motivation research or the buying research. What makes, at times the packaging attracts the consumer to purchase that product. We usually, at times, we don't need the product, but that attractive packaging forces us to buy the product, especially during the festive season, when we want to gift someone something, right? What attracts us most is the packaging of the product. At times, we don't pay much attention to the product itself. People pay attention to the packaging of the product. If packaging is attractive, people tend to buy it during the festive season or to gift it to someone, right? So packaging plays an important role. It is science and technology and the art. Science and technology means that it tells us the what type of design is required for the product or what type of packaging material should be used. And the behavior aspect is the art is that which is associated with consumer motivation research or the buying research, right? The properly designed and packaged should enhance the value of its contained product and impart that the impression either directly or subtly to the customers. The role of packaging in value enhancement is increasingly becoming important in not only consumer market but across all the categories of goods and products, right? So as I told you, during the festive season, at times packaging attracts us. What are the function of packaging, right? Packaging should perform the functions like it protects the product, right? It should be appealing, then the perform, offer convenience to the end user, and be cost effective. All these are the functions of packaging. Protection, the primary function of the packaging is to protect the product from the environmental and physical hazards to which product can be exposed. Two, in transition from the manufacturer plants to the retailer shelves or while on the displays on the shelves, that that the packaging protects the product, right? During transportation, right? During transportation, the packaging protects the plant while you are transporting the product. from manufacturer to the retailer, or from one place to the another place. And while on the display, this packaging protects, right, from various environmental or physical hazards, like from heat, from say rain, from water, and from other things, right? Then another function of packaging is appeal. It should be appealing, right? Packaging should be so attractive that consumer tends to uh, it should motivate the consumer to purchase that product, right? As I have given the example, during the festive season, at times we don't pay attention to the product itself, but what appeals us as the packaging of the product, right? Consumer products package serves as silent salesman, right? It plays a very important role. This is true irrespective of whether product is luxury, semi luxury, or ordinary everyday product. These characteristics have been identified to help a package perform the self-selling task, like packaging must able to attract the attention, and the packaging must tell the product story, right? So package must build a confidence, and package must look clean and hygienic. Package must be convenient to handle, to carry out, to store, to use, and should reflect a good value. So it should be appealing. Appealing what means, it should motivate the consumer to buy the product, despite of the whether the product could be luxury, semi luxury, or ordinary ones. Even the packaging makes the ordinary product a appealing product, right? The packaging must attract the attention of the consumer, right? It should tell the story of the product. It should build up the confidence. The packaging should be clean and hygienic, right? It should be convenient. It should make the convenient to handle that product, and it should reflect a good value, right? Consumer research on packaging has basically concentrated in two aspects, which is presumed to have influence on the consumer purchase decision. The first one is the color, and the second one is packaging or the container design. According to research, right? Research on the packaging, that according to that research, two aspects plays an important role, right, on the consumer purchase decision. The first is the color, and the second is the design, or the packaging design of the packaging, or the container design of the product, right? Almost all researchers have come to the conclusion that each color has its own distinct characteristics, and therefore have to be used in packaging, so that there is no mismatch between what is expected of the package and color used in the packaging. Even color plays an important role, right? And every color gives a different meaning to the packaging, so there should be no mismatch between the color used and what is expected of the package, right? Color design of the packaging plays an important role. It motivates or it appeals the consumer, right? Packaging and sales promotion. Product package often plays an important role in implementing sales promotion campaigns. Promotion is defined as a short term special measure to boost the sales. There are several accepted promotional packaging techniques, right? See, there are sales promotion plays an plays an important role. Promotion is a short term measure to boost up the sales, right? And there are several promotions accepted promotional packaging techniques, like money off pack. A flash and distinctive color is superimposed on the package, announcing a special price discount being offered. This is most widely used form. Money off pack, right? That is a flash of distinctive color, that sale, right? Or 50% off, or money off, right? That is money off pack. That is the flash and distinctive color is superimposed on the package, that announces a special price discount. Then coupon pack, a coupon either as a part of package or placed separately in the package of a certain value can redeemed after the purchase of the product. It plays a very important role. Pack in premium, a premium that is gift is packed with the within the original product package. That is a handkerchief in a cosmetic project, in a cosmetic product package. It plays an important role. Premium package, a specially made package having either a reuse or prestige value. That is an instant coffee package in the glass tumbler having closure is an example of this premium package, right? Self liquidator could be another technique. The buyer has to send a number of packages or a part thereof as evidence of buying the product to the company. In return, he may purchase additional quantity of some product at reduced prices or rewarded with a different product. And several companies in India, in the processed food and beverages industry, occasionally use this technique, self liquidator, right? When you scratch the coupon and send and or when you when you take a photo and send it to some website or the company, and when you collect the coupon and redeem those coupon and get something in return, that is the self liquidator technique. Another function of packaging is performance. This is the third function of package. It must be able to perform the task for which it is designed. The aspect become crucial in certain types of packaging. If packaging does not function, the product itself become totally useless. Performance, right? It should perform that. If packaging does not function, if it is not able to attract, the product becomes useless. Convenience, that it should make the product convenient. It should be convenient to handle. It should make the product convenient to handle, right? Must be designed in a way that should be convenient in use, and it should be convenient not only for the end user but also to the distribution channel members as a wholesaler and retailers. The specific attributes they would seek in package in this context are convenient to stock, that the packaging must be convenient to stock, must be convenient to display, right? Does not waste the shelf space, package retain the looks during the shelf life, right? And the master packages or cartons are easy to dispose of, right? And finally, it should be cost effective. The package finally should be cost effective. It should not be costlier, right? If the packaging is costlier, then it will make the product even more costlier, right? Then there could be the chances that it will impact the demand, right? So today we discussed about the branding and the packaging decisions, right? Branding, what is the branding? Branding is as we discussed, that is brand is nothing but a it could a letter, a word, a logo, or a symbol, or a combinations of any thereof, and which is intended to identify the goods and to differentiate the product from its competitors' product. That is brand, right? And it is required to create a brand. You can create a brand under as a family brand or an individual brand. That marketer has to decide, right? And brand, there are certain advantages and disadvantages of branding from the buyer's aspect, from the seller's aspect, from the societal point of view, right? Packaging, then we discussed about the packaging. What is packaging? Packaging is what is packaging? It is art, science and technology of preparing the goods for transport and the sales, right? So the two important factors of packaging is that it helps in physical handling and storing and the transportation of the product, right? Packaging plays a very important role. There are certain function of packaging, like it protects the product, right? That is the basic primary function of packaging. Appeal, that it should be, packaging should be appealing. It should motivate the consumer to buy that product, right? Perform, the packaging should perform. It should be convenient to handle, and the packaging should be cost effective, right? That's all for today. Thank you very much. Namaskar.